Hi, my friends. I'm a little early to my appointment, and so thought I'd take a couple of minutes just to answer some questions that I got on that Seller Beware post I made. The first question was, is it a scam? And I don't believe it's a scam because they will follow through, buy your house, give you that little bit of cash, and then you sign away all your rights. The other thing is that wraparound mortgages are nothing new. They were actually done in the 80s. We, as realtors, would be involved when we sold a home and we had somebody that wanted to buy but didn't want to pay 18% interest for a new loan because, 18% was the interest rate then in 82, 83, 84. So anyway, so a buyer would come in and give you as a seller, say 10% down or 20% down, and then you would carry the remaining equity as part of a wraparound mortgage. A difference too between these products that they're offering, this buyer that offers this product, is they don't offer you any interest on that loan, that equity that you're still carrying out there. In the 80s, interest was included. So if the mortgage was at a really great interest rate, like 8% versus 18, the buyer might negotiate an interest rate of 10 or 10.5 with the seller. And so the seller would collect the difference between the 8% on the first mortgage and the 10 or the 10.5 that the buyer is paying to him. So there were different protections that would be called into play. A notice if a payment was failed, didn't get to the lender for that loan, any number of different things, and the title company would make sure everything was recorded properly. In those days too, when the interest rate was so high, oftentimes, especially with FHA loans, a buyer would come in and they would assume the FHA loan, which meant that it would not be paid off. And he would make those payments after qualifying with the lender to be allowed to make those payments, to actually assume. Because as realtors, we wanted to protect our sellers to make sure that the buyer didn't just take over the mortgage or the loan, because then the seller was still on the hook credit-wise with FHA. So a formal assumption, it took a little bit of time, naturally, because it's like processing a real loan or a new loan. And then as long as the buyer qualified for that, then the liability for the loan went to the buyer. And in those cases, oftentimes the seller would carry a second. They would carry a promissory note that was second to that first deed of trust. Again, there was interest that was paid to the seller as part of that note, and we would have the title company record the appropriate documents to make sure that our seller was aware if the buyer quit making payments. So anyway, that's just a short version, but wraps are nothing new. It's just how they are presented and what the benefits or lack of benefits are to you as a seller. That's why I advise that you either contact an attorney if you get one, or you'd contact a realtor. And if you're needing to sell and getting some cash up front sounds good to you, and you don't know how much equity you have, or you think you don't have much equity because you've refinanced and pulled cash out, do talk to a realtor and see how they can help you with that sale. And if need be, it's a short sale. You still get some money. The property loan gets paid off. You're not on the hook forever, and you don't have a foreclosure on your hands. So anyway, just some thoughts. Have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.